Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's Aaron Bowman here with the Carleton County Military Museum, military historian for Carleton County. This is the Type 7C German U-boat. So the Type 7s were used up all throughout the war from 1939 to 1945, the Second World War. But in reality, the biggest workhorse of the German U-boat fleet, the Kriegsmarine, was the Type 7C. And a Type 7C is designed with 5 torpedo tubes, one here in the rear, you can see it down there, and 4 in the front. So these are 53.3 centimeters, so they're 21-inch torpedo tubes with 14 torpedoes. So early in the war, it was the T1s that were from late First World War design, the G7A, what they're called, and then you come up with the T2s. The T1s had problems with they had a magnetic detonator that would sense an enemy ship's hull, and it was supposed to detonate before it hits it. And it's supposed to sense it, so it actually does more damage by the throw weight of going in between the ship and splitting it in half. But this one, sometimes they wouldn't even work, and they'd just clunk against the hull. The Type 2s, or T2s rather, T2s, G7E would actually be longer range, only 30 knots instead of 40 maximum, which the TA, the T1s had. But the T2s were 30 knots. They had longer range, and the magnetic anomaly, the magnetic detonator would work. They could either be magnetic or switch to impact detonation, so it would actually impact as it detonates the hull. And the T1s would do that as well. Either way, these U-boats, right? You're looking at this is actually a model of one that was built, and then it was given to me. It was given to me as a donation to the museum. I'm a scratch model builder, but I build from wood. This is a kit that was built, and it was given to me. These are, you can see here, it's got the 88, or what they call 3.5-inch SK C35 gun. You can see here. That's the main gun, 88 millimeter. Same as like the German, the Tiger 1 and the Tiger 2. The design of this, like, I mean, you're looking at, for the size of it, right? 52 crew and officers, 52, right? So it's a good sized crew. It's a capable system, and these were the workhorse because there were more produced of these than any other Type 7s or Type 9s or earlier versions. There was over 700 of these produced, and these were the most numerous of for the wolf packs in the North Atlantic, in the Battle of the Atlantic from 1939 to 1945. Now, these were built in numerous places: Kiel, Wilhelmshaven. They were built in numerous locations. And then when France fell, they were based in numerous bases right on the French coast, so they could attack enemy shipping and then go right into what is the pit, which is in the center area where Allies didn't have aerial surveillance and aerial enemy naval bombardment. So the range of these, it depends, right? I mean, you can have maximum speeds are 17 or 18 knots on the surface. They can only stay underwater for as long as the batteries last. And usually they're only going to last 6 to 8 hours, depending on your speed. And then you have to surface or snorkel. You can see here in the conning tower, you've got the radio transmitter here, the ring. Oops, the ring. And then you've got the periscopes. That first periscope is the observation periscope. And then you have I believe this one is the attack periscope. Or maybe, no, or it might be one or the others. I'm like, yeah, that's the observation periscope. This is the attack periscope. And of course, up when it's surfaced, they would have the crew looking out on the conning tower, looking out for enemy ships, enemy aircraft, and then your anti-aircraft guns are there. So you have your one anti-aircraft gun. This is, I'd say, this one is probably early, like 42 design. Later in the war, some of them would get rid of they'd take out the gun, the 88 millimeter. So the 88 would go, and in place there would be anti-aircraft gun. There would be an anti-aircraft gun, a quad gun system. These could travel all the way, a thousand kilometers or so without refueling at lower speeds. A lot of times after firing the torpedoes or whatnot, mid-Atlantic, they'd have to literally either get refueled by what they call a milch cow, which is a milch cow is a refueler U-boat and also has torpedoes with it as well. So they'd refuel those, and then then it would be on its way to attack again another convoy, which Allied ships were in convoys at the time. Coming from Atlantic Canada, you're looking at, Halifax, St. John's, Newfoundland, and of course when America entered the war, of course New York, Boston, right? And New York being a main one. By 1943, and the Germans were losing many U-boats due to Aztec and Hedgehog and other Allied naval achievements, which were advancing, including lights on and more air power, short Sunderland aircraft that could drop depth charges on them, more aircraft patrols, trying to force the German U-boats to stand underwater longer. And then when they had to surface and they were out of battery, they couldn't submerge, and then they'd either be sunk or by either destroyer escorts, or other means such as like aircraft, like I mentioned, and other avenues, mines. But oftentimes it'd be either aircraft or destroyer escorts. Attacking convoys would be harder. Sonar and active sonar was much better. In 43, 44, they started losing a lot of their aces, in late 42 and 43, and all through 43 to 44. And then the Battle Atlantic was won just by attritional aspects, but also by technological advances that far exceeded the German capability to modernize and replace. So, all right, talk to everybody soon. Aaron Boma, military historian for Carleton County.